Ciao, buonasera. Come state, ragazzi? Spero bene. This is the study sheet that I posted on Moodle just now. Uh, I actually noticed that as I was recording this, that I posted a version of this file that is not complete. You will see that that some pages lack, but don't worry, I'm going to update it with the correct file. But again, what you see in front of you is sorry, is what you need to do in order to study for the final exam. This is very specific, so I don't think that there is much to add to this. However, just for clarity, I'm going to give you an example of each exercise so that you know what to expect. Also, for the first time, I decided to assign points to each section. So this is going to be an exercise, a final exam with about 100 questions. So that basically each check the whole all the sentences, all the questions basically are going to count towards the grade in the way that they are. I still believe it's a rather easy, quick exam because it's basically the same stuff that you've been doing throughout the semester. It's exactly the same as the 3 quizzes that you have been doing during the semester, just longer. That's basically what's going to happen. For number one here, comprehension exercise, you're going to do something that you've never done actually. You are going to hear me reading something, and you will have on your quiz, you will have answers, or better, comprehension questions regarding what I read. Not exactly true or false, but more rather you have sentences that have to be completed with multiple choices options, with various options, and you have to select what is the right option. I'm going to give you an example of this, otherwise I'm afraid I'm going to confuse you. Let's say that you will hear something like Giuseppe è un professore, right? And on your quiz you have Giuseppe è, and then I don't know, you have two options. Option A is studente, option B studente is option B professore, and of course you have to go for option B. But of course you're not going to see the sentence Giuseppe è un professore. You're going to hear me say that. So it's a oral comprehension exercise. Okay, for all the other exercises, aside from the 8, I would say that the 3 quizzes that we have done are more than helpful to understand what you need to do. So this means that once you go over all the quizzes that we have already done, the quizzes that you have, even the study guides for the past quizzes, you should basically be fine. For example, in this case, I'm going to have an exercise in which you have the blank space before the noun, right? You did something similar already, right? And for indefinite article, you have to put the indefinite article, un libro, for example, and for the definite article, you have to put the correct definite article, in this case, la macchina. Okay. Again, remember, you have pages for each of these exercises. I'm not going to take any words that are not in the pages that I have mentioned. Very good. Then you have another exercise, which is there's another exercise about the agreement with noun and adjective. In this case, it's mostly going to be something of this kind. You have to change the last vowel of the adjective. For example, un professore, un professore, un professore intelligente, and then you have to put the right last vowel. Una macchina rossa, right? Un libro modern. Right? I'm just making adjective. I don't even know if I want to use these adjectives, but just this is the idea. So, for example, un professore intelligente, right? Una macchina rossa, un libro moderno, right? So you just have to put the correct vowel at the end of the just have to put the correct vowel at the end of the adjective. I'm just underlining the answer so that you know that this is what you have to do for each exercise. Possessive adjective, same type of exercise that you have done for the second quiz. So you have a blank space, right? Molto intelligente, right? And then you have in parentheses you have the possessive adjective that you need to use, and then you have an option. You have 4 options, right? For example, il mio, mia, sua, right? So you have to choose among these, and of course in this case it's il mio ragazzo è molto intelligente. For the prepositions in Italian, you are going to have an exercise which is exactly the same of the one that you had to do for the third quiz. So you will have a text with blank spaces. Maybe actually, you know what? You will not have a text. You will actually have 10 sentences, and you have to put the right preposition depending on the sentence. Okay, so you have 10 prepositions in this case I'm going to make an example with 3. The a, okay, and then you have to choose. You have 3 sentences. Then you have okay, so you have 3 sentences, and you have to put the correct prepositions among these 3 sentences. So, for example, you know that for a country you can only use the preposition in. So here you're going to write Giuseppe va in Italia. Giuseppe va in Italia. Right? You know that for a city you can only put a. So Giuseppe abita a Brooklyn. Giuseppe abita a Brooklyn. And then you know that for la macchina, in this case, the only one that you have left is D, and it sounds good, right? Because it means the Giuseppe's car is white. So la macchina di Giuseppe, la macchina di Giuseppe è bianca. Okay, so that's the other one that you need to know. Okay, for the verb conjugation, I don't really think I need to go into the details of it, because it's exactly the same exercises that I always done. So you have the sentence with the blank space, and you have to conjugate the verb according to the subject. Basically, just look at the exercises that we have done so far on our quizzes, and you will have to do those exercises. However, it's going to be, as you can see, it's 5 exercises with the verbs. So as you can see, it's actually just the verb conjugation. It's going to be valid half of your points. So I think it's very important that you practice a lot of verb conjugation, and you work with these verbs that I'm saying here. So you will have 10 sentences, exercises of 10 sentences that are separated from one another. But all together, the verb conjugation, it's a very important part of your final grade. So remember, subject, blank space, verb in parentheses, the sentence continues, depending on, like the ones that you have done, for example, in quiz 3, but also in the other quizzes, you have done similar things. Then you have a reading and comprehension exercise, which is the same that you have been doing in the past, which is basically like there's a text, and then you have to decide if the sentences about the text are true or false, right? So that's something that you have already done also in the third quiz. And then last thing, you have answering simple questions. As you can see, I have put a lot of. Pages here, because these are all pages about conversation, vocabulary questions that we have been looking at throughout the semester. But I'm thinking about something of this kind, basically. Questions of this type. For example, you have to answer the question, come stai? You have to answer the question, come ti chiami? What's your name? Di dove sei? Right? A che ora ti svegli la mattina? Cosa ti piace fare nel tempo libero? So this type of questions. Come stai? Sto bene, grazie. And, or whatever you want to say. Sto così così, sto male. Whatever you want to say. Come ti chiami? Mi chiamo Giuseppe. Right? Quanti anni hai? Quanti anni hai? Quanti anni hai? And you have to answer, ho 39 anni. Di dove sei? Sono di Napoli. I don't know. A che ora ti svegli la mattina? Mi sveglio la mattina la mattina mi sveglio alle 6. Cosa ti piace fare nel tempo libero? Mi piace ascoltare la musica, leggere e scrivere. I don't know. Okay, so that's, you will have questions of this kind that you have to then answer, and this is pretty much it. I'm going to send you an email now to tell you that I'm going to post this, that this video is posted on Moodle. I also want to let you know that I'm recording this. Today is Wednesday, 5:16 p.m. I'm going to be on campus tomorrow, Thursday, the 6th of December, in the afternoon, I would say, in case any of you would like to come see me, as any questions or worried concerns about something that you have not understood or whatever, right? So I'm going to be on campus tomorrow. If you cannot see me tomorrow, remember, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, I am going to be available via, I don't know, FaceTime or Google Talk or whatever that's called, whatever, like video conference, right? If you are on the phone, whatever you want. Just know that I am around, and if you need to speak with me, you will find me. Good luck, buona fortuna.